Hi, and welcome back to uncoverfraud.com. My name is David Melamed, and I'm a forensic accountant and fraud investigation expert. You know, this year, 2021, started off with a bang. A little different for everyone, I know, different for me. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to actually start with a new series. And what the new series is going to be about, it's going to be about ways to find fraud. You know, uncovering fraud yourself. So if you're watching this video and you're looking for ways to uncover fraud or find fraud, this series is going to be for you. You know, I'm going to be talking about things such as duplicate invoices. So a duplicate invoice, how do you find that and why do you need to find that? A duplicate invoice could be the same invoice number, the same dollar amount, the same date, payment, potentially different dollar amount. And we're looking for where possibly there's been an occurrence of double payment. So it could just be an error where possibly a vendor has invoiced you twice when they should have just done it once. And if that is the case, you know, it's simply a phone call to the vendor asking them to reimburse you and to make you whole. And I'm sure that they will. But also it potentially highlights a fraud. And what fraud could be happening here is that those funds may be deposited to an employee's bank account. The funds may have been deposited by that vendor twice, knowingly. So these are things that you want to identify. Another example is when the vendor that you're paying your accounts payable to is, for example, Facebook, and suddenly you see initials being used, F.B. And not just Facebook, but really short forms of any business name. The question is, why is it changed? Why is it different from what the vendor master list says? And that's something that you want to look at is the vendor master list, because the vendor master list is going to show you what the company's real name should be. And if there is suddenly a mocked up shorter title, the question again comes into whose account is the check being deposited to, or whose account has the money been wired to? You know, why is there suddenly a short form for the company name? And that's one of the tips that you see. Another example would be sequential invoices. Sequential invoices are where you'd see an invoice number 123, and the next invoice number would be 124, 125. And the question is, why is that happening? And the answer really is potentially that the vendor that you're using has no other clients but you. And if that happens, you know, why is that? Is that it's just a small contractor, or is it potentially that there's a fraud going on and somebody is using the same template invoice number and they aren't actually thinking that they need to roll that invoice number forward so it won't look like it's consecutive sequential numbers. As well, you want to look at sequential numbers because there could be a fraud that's being done, which is preferred vendor choice. And the preferred vendor choice happens when there's a threshold, for example, $25,000, and now invoice 123, 1234, 1235 are a division of that $25,000. And that way, the company or the individual who chooses for the company who the vendor is going to be can make their own preference or make their own choice without having to go to RFP, which doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to see the most funds or the best price. So that's going to be what it is that I'm going to be speaking about in the series. I'm still going to do my regular videos on updates, things that are in the news, different types of frauds that I've experienced. But I really thought, and just kind of listening back to your feedback, things that you're looking for is ways to uncover fraud yourself. And I'm going to actually show you hopefully over 150 ways over the next 12 months on how to find fraud and what it is and the steps that you need to take. And I'll go into more detail. These were just examples to kind of whet your appetite. So hopefully you tune back in. Look, you know, if you liked this video today and you found it interesting, please don't forget to like it and subscribe below. Hopefully you'll follow me and we'll get to know each other over time. My name, as I said, is David Melamed, and I'm a forensic accountant and fraud investigation expert. And, you know, to find out more about me or to learn more about the services we offer, please visit uncoverfraud.com. And I look forward to you joining me. Thanks again. God bless.